So if we could take anything from episode 104 Dragon Ball Super other than the hype of seeing Hit and Goku team up against the Pride Troopers, at least some of them, it was finding out that Toei Animation and the anime have no problem taking a concept from Toyotaro's manga in Dragon Ball Super and making it a slight tweak in the anime. In this case, I'm talking about obviously Goku having the ability now from jumping from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue without stamina loss, which is exactly what happened with Vegeta in the manga. Now, I don't know how the Vegeta fanboys are going to feel about this. Personally, I think it's an ass pull because there's no explanation other than the fact, oh, managed to achieve this by going through rigorous training. Well, the same should be said for Vegeta because he's trained just as much as Goku. In fact, he actually finished his task. In fact, why haven't we seen Vegeta do the same thing? So it's like, yeah, they're giving the concept that happened with Vegeta, but they're giving it to Goku in the anime. So I think that should have been explored upon a little bit more than what it was, other than, oh, Goku's managed to use Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue because obviously Super Saiyan God doesn't use as much stamina, which I did kind of mention in my discussion. And the other answer to the question was, how would Goku activate Super Saiyan God? Well, I don't think the ritual is required. It doesn't seem to be the case because you need 5 Saiyans for it to happen, and we know 2 of them were pretty much laying low, Kale and Caulifla, while Hit was taking on most of the Pride Troopers. Another thing I actually liked about this episode was, for the first time in the anime, we actually saw Goku go from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue. That was a first, so that's kind of cool. The animation was good, the music choice was good, but personally, I like this episode a whole lot more because it focused on not just Goku, but also Dispo and Hit when it came to Universe 6 and Universe 11. And by the way, Hit, in my opinion, was the MVP of this episode. Despite Goku going Super Saiyan God, it didn't really amount to a whole lot because even when he did reveal that he has the ability to control his stamina now, from jumping from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue, it's exactly the same thing that Vegeta did. But even that, it didn't really acquire to anything because it was Hit who actually ended up eliminating Kunchi, and Dispo was the one that was retreated after Hit actually dealt a blow to Dispo. Now we'll start off with the episode with obviously Dispo and Hit, and I gotta say I like how they spotlighted Dispo a little bit more. And a lot of people have been sleeping on this guy because obviously the focus is on Jiren. He's a beast. What's the fact that Dispo is still in the tournament of power? We're going to see a lot more from not just him but also Topo as well, which is good. So they're not just one and done. That with the rest of the Pride Troopers, which I had a problem with because it made them seem like kind of a joke, and the spotlight was on Jiren. So I'm glad they got that right. But so obviously it starts off with Hit trying to use his time leap ability, and Dispo immediately says, "Yeah, that time leap ability that you're so prideful of, that's not going to work." And true to form, it didn't at the beginning because, well, a lot of people are going to debate about this, but this has been in Dragon Ball for the longest time. Dispo has to pretty much faster than the speed of light, which is pretty much the title of the episode. But I think Dispo showcased a way that actually made it a lot more unique and a lot more in depth. In this case, Dispo was actually reading the movements of Hit, and that's how I was able to predict where he was going to be when it came to the time leap ability. So I kind of like that. It was actually his transportation technique, the one he used against Goku in episode 72, and Vados kind of mentioned the same thing. Oh, that's the technique he used against Goku to actually make sure that Dispo slipped through him and almost got a ring up because obviously he went to the edge of the platform and he used that to lure Dispo. So that was kind of neat. Although we saw Kunchi actually activate his energy strings, I believe. He actually saved him. He actually did kind of build up Dispo by saying, you know, if you lose, we can't afford to lose you in this tournament of power. So they see value in Dispo, and so does the enemy apparently. So that's kind of cool. And we do actually get a reference to Dispo looking like Beerus and Champa, because actually Champa's the one that said, "Oh, he looks like a lot like Beerus," and Beerus is like, "You're pretty much a lookalike of Beerus, even though you're a bit chubbier." So yeah, that was kind of interesting. Even though I'm pretty sure they don't know who he is, otherwise Beerus would have recognized him. And hit a really good run for his money until he actually blocked his blows and actually avoided any vital damage. So I thought that was kind of neat as well. Until I guess it was a 2-on-1 situation when Kunchi actually got himself involved, but then and Khalifa said she was going to do something to help out, but obviously before she had the chance to, in comes Goku, already in Super Saiyan God, so that may piss off a lot of people as well, because they just jump straight to it. No build, no nothing, except for the preview, of course. So we got Goku in here, and Goku says, "I'm not doing this to help you. Seeing those two double team, you kind of made my body itch." Yeah, sure, Goku, whatever. By the way, was I the one thinking that Goku was kind of acting arrogant in this episode? Because twice he said, "Yo, those techniques are pretty good. That no one is able to match up with Hit, but I shouldn't have no problem with it." As soon as he said that, boom, in Super Saiyan God, got decked with 2 blows. And even when he did reveal he can go into Super Saiyan Blue to obviously increase his strength, because obviously Super Saiyan God doesn't use as much stamina, even then, Dispo was still able to avoid Super Saiyan Blue, so I thought that was kind of impressive. And avoid any amount of damage. In fact, the only real damage he got was against Hit, because, I mean, he was just mauling on Dispo like he did against Vegeta. And by the end, he's still up and running, and he still said, "We need to retreat. I'm going to get my revenge." But Toppo said, "No, forget about that, because we need to forget about justice and the sense of hero. We need to focus on survival." So I think they're going to do something desperate, and Jiren seems kind of cool and relaxed. And by the way, the Kaioshin of Universe 11, even though Kunchi was eliminated, says it's okay because we still have Jiren. They are so confident in this dude. I don't know what's going to happen when Goku goes into his new mode. That's going to be nuts. Speaking of which, that could happen sooner rather than later, because next week is, the rumor is episode 105 is going to be a now-long special, because I think it's going to showcase the death of Roshi, because he's going to use the Fuba wave, and my question is why. But other than that, and a lot of people said Master Roshi's death could trigger Goku into his new mode, so we're going to see real soon if it does or doesn't. But I really like this episode, because like I said, it focused on Hit and it focused on Dispo, as well as pretty much the team up of Goku and Hit. And even though they didn't combine their attacks, it was the start of their teamwork against Universe 11. Only where I see Roshi's death having some type of effect on Goku's transformation is if the Pride Troopers get involved, I guess the Mifuba wave, and they force Roshi to die. But by the way, that's another thing that irks me, because finally remembering that, using the Mifuba wave risks you dying, because Master Roshi did die, attempted to do that to King Piccolo. In the future Trunks arc, that was never explained at all. For no adverse effects. He wasn't immobilized. Nothing happened. So they never explained that, and that always bugged me, because it seemed like they just forgot for plot convenience. But now they're actually bringing it back for Master Roshi. So I guess we're going to find out why he's going to sacrifice his life to take on a fighter of Universe 2. And that's another thing too. It looks like Roshi's going to get his permanence back, because he is blushing. So, and if that is a fight from Universe 2, it's kind of like I called it, because I did say it would be a fighter from Universe 2 that ends up getting the better of Roshi. But I don't know what's going to happen. And by the way, even if he does use the Mifuba, there's no guarantee it's actually going to work. And the other only reasons why you would use Mifuba wave are two: if the opponent you face is immortal, like Zamasu, because that's why Trunks did that, it didn't work. Or you're trying to put them away without trying to hurt them, because if it is a girl you're trying to do it on, then that's on perfect, by the way. But then Master Roshi actually used the Mifuba wave to actually avoid it causing any physical damage. It could be that, but I'm not too sure at this point. So we'll see whether or not it's an hour-long special. It's going to lead to something monstrous down the road, I'm pretty sure. Or I thought it was a decent episode. The Return of Super Saiyan God was temporary. It's cool to see, but also Goku shifting from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue, taking a concept from the manga and added a little toy animation spin on things. And in this case, it was Whis that kind of brought it up. Goku has the ability to slip him back and forth, because actually he remained in Super Saiyan God, and when he fought Kunchi, he actually went back into Super Saiyan Blue to actually prevent the explosions. When Hit says, Dispo's mine, you take care of the other one, and Goku's like, you try to stop me. So it's like Goku's already been problematic already. So I can't wait to see what happens next. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you did appreciate that. Comment down below thoughts about what you think is going to happen next. Subscribe to our channel for more Dragon Ball Super. Catch you guys later. Bye.